Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Minions of the Zoo 1565. I'm your host, Johnny Hellcat, and with me today are Minions Sanguine
Good evening, all.
and the Hey Camel.
Hello.
So, how are you guys doing this afternoon, evening, whatever time zone you are in?
I'll let Camel answer first.
Tired. Bunch of stuff going on. So, uh, nothing really to talk about though.
Mm.
Well, then it's a
And
good thing I came up with ideas.
yeah, for me, I'm doing okay. I worked a shit ton of OT last night, and then unfortunately, one of the people that I rather enjoy and find amusing online was just fired from that position because of absolute bullshit internet drama, which sucks.
Yeah, that's pretty lame.
Yeah, they're a VTuber that works for a specific company, and they talked to someone who they asked if it was going to be kept in confidence. The person said it was going to be kept in confidence. They were asking the person for advice, and then immediately after doing that, they spread all the information as quickly as they could until the girl got fired. Which, massive horseshit.
Yeah, that's some bullshit.
Yep. But hopefully she'll be returning outside of the company, going freelance. Other than that, everything's been fairly good. I made a dinner that I've never made before last night because I made amu rice for the first time, and it was delicious. Even though, do either of you know what amu rice is?
I know what minute rice is.
I do not know what Amu Rice is.
Okay, amu rice is a dinner that seems really weird when you hear it explained. It is fried rice that has ketchup in the fried rice. Then you make an omelet. You put in some cheddar cheese into your omelet. Then you scoop in the fried rice that you just made into the omelet as well. So you have this omelet wrapped fried rice with cheddar cheese.
It sounds like I've made this before.
It sounds really weird to most people. I'm willing to bet. But fucking delicious. Good God, it was fantastic.
I wonder if I'd be able to. Hmm. Yeah, I could have swore I made something like that. Well, something close to it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Adding more like sausage and stuff to it as well.
Yep. Yeah, the way that I did mine was chicken fried rice. So I had chicken that I marinated real quick, then seared that off, sliced it up into bite sized bits, then onion, mushroom, sauteed the mushroom after the chicken came out until the mushroom got some of the water cooked out, started to kind of caramelize on the outside, become fantastic. Tossed in the onion, got it. So was just starting to caramelize where the edges are just going golden brown rather than translucent. And then tossed in the day old rice and the chicken. Let that all marry together. Start a good toast on the rice. Throw in a bit more butter to make sure that it started getting a nice toast to it. Once that was done, made a well, put in some ketchup, put in a bit of shoyu, let the ketchup reduce, let the shoyu reduce, then mix that shit all into the rice. Good to go. Make sure that all the flavors are balanced right. And then, like I said, fry up an omelet, throw that rice into the omelet. Really good, really strange, though.
I found something else for you, Johnny, because I got nothing about fried rice omelets here. So
But yeah, we can go to a different topic since I was just sharing the strange thing that I made last night, which is really good. Japanese food. Fucking delicious. And tonight I'm just having some salmon seared with a bit of salt, bit of dill, on some rice, and I'll come up with a couple other things to throw together as sides for that.
Let's see here. Well, this will, stall the main topic at least. So let's see here. I'll put that in the studio.
Who was beeping?
That was my rice cooker on the far side of my kitchen.
Ah.
Like I said, I'm making rice.
No. I saw the story originally on Twitter, and I think Monkey covered it earlier this week.
Let's see.
Hank the Tank exonerated. I called it in
Nice.
Monkey's chat.
DNA
Hashtag
evidence.
Hank did nothing wrong.
Let's
He was
see.
set up.
Hank the Tank, the big bear, being blamed for breaking into dozens of homes across Tahoe Keys area, may be innocent after all. The 500-pound brown bear was blamed for another break-in last Friday morning. However, California Department of Fish and Wildlife officials say that they collected DNA evidence from the scene and found that a female black bear was actually the culprit.
It just says female bear. I don't know why
Was
you're
it
adding
what?
black into the mix.
Oh.
I was about to say that is one of the few times
I
I've
think
heard a California news story actually report that it was a black assailant or anything along those lines.
I think I read this part and kind of just the word absorbed its way into my way. Let's see. The discovery prompted officials to back through DNA evidence over the last 7 months. They have bear DNA evidence just sitting around.
Well, I mean, they broke into 30 properties, more than 30.
I'm more
So, yeah,
impressed
they-
by the fact that they actually investigated something. This is
Well, it's because it was
California, right?
it's because it was bears.
It's like CSI.
Yeah.
Jellystone Park.
I don't imagine they put that much work into it if it was people. So
Yeah,
at least if it was like under 900 and whatever dollars.
spending
That is-
all their resources tackling the bear break-in problem. Never mind the train robberies.
Well, I mean, do you want to deal with people robbing trains that might have guns or bears?
People robbing trains that might have guns.
Yeah, but the bear's not going to shoot back at you.
No, but the people robbing trains with guns will have a harder time mauling me. And they're less likely to shrug off a bullet.
Yeah, it's not going to be one of those one and done type of interactions.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have a large enough caliber, it might. Just saying,
Yeah, but-
you know.
You need a large enough
You-
caliber, and for a bear, you need a good size bullet to take down a bear proper.
I don't know, man. An AK works pretty good on 7 Days to Die.
How many police departments do you know that have full auto AKs in the mix?
Well, I mean, like they got tanks, Sanguine. You tell me they don't have some AKs? Come on.
They don't have tanks either.
You're right. They have armored personnel carriers or what
Yep.
have you.
APCs.
Which, when you drive it through most things, including buildings in America, functions the same as a tank.
Yeah, but it loses to a killdozer.
Well, everything loses to Killdozer.
Except an M1 could probably win against Killdozer. Abrams, not Garand.
But yeah, I just feel justified in my faith in the natural world. I called it in Monkey's chat. Hank did nothing wrong. You know, I think we've all finally learned our lesson from Harambe and everything. We're starting to ask questions before we just shoot first with the animals.
Yeah.
Maybe we never beat Harambe again.
I do like that theory that Harambe getting shot is where like our timeline diverged or whatever, and like we're in the bad timeline now. Like there's a good timeline where.
I'm just waiting for all the jokes to come out of it all makes sense. A big, strong black male was once again framed by a black female.
Oh, I keep wondering why you guys say black. They said it was a brown bear.
Well, they just said it was a female bear.
Yeah,
but Hank is Hank's a brown bear. They said in the article.
Brown bear, but they said it was done by a female bear.
Okay, I thought it said Hank was a black bear.
No,
Johnny added black because of his unconscious bias.
I added black to the female bear because, they.
Because if someone's going to sell out a brown bear, it's going to be a black bear. Is that what you're trying to say, Johnny?
Hey, if the stereotype fits.
Man, that's some colorism right there.
And since it's against a female bear, it's a misogynoir as well.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Just stacking your isms on top of each other. We see how you're doing shit tonight, Johnny.
Yeah, I've actually not outright stated that these are things, but...
No, because you're just trying to dog whistle, clearly.
Which is rich coming from a cat.
Yeah.
More like bear whistle.
I thought only twinks do that.
And the other bears.
Normally you don't see bear on bear. The stereotype's bear on twink or bear on otter. Or one of the other animal ones that they do. Because the only ones that I know off the top of my head are bear and otter. I've heard both of those.
No, what's an otter?
An otter's like a normal-sized bear.
So it's a skinny, hairy dude.
Yeah, it's a skinny, kind of average height, hairy dude is apparently an otter.
So the average gay.
Is Polydub aware of this?
The average hairy gay is an otter. Apparently. And then there's bear, which is the average large gay. And then there's twinks, which are the average small gay, apparently.
I mean, I have to assume he is, but nobody's answering my question, so...
I don't know. I haven't told him.
I'm not going to be the one to break the news.
Just pull up Discord real fast.
Going to quickly shoot him a message.
Just make sure he never talks to me again. Yeah, pretty much.
Nice.
Hey, Polly, by the way.
Are you aware that otter's a medium-sized hairy gay man?
No, I have to assume Polly's been on the internet long enough that he stumbled across that at some point, or somebody made him aware.
Or more equivalent of the such.
And if that is not the case, then I think I will do him the solid of letting him live in ignorance, because that is bliss, from what I'm told.
I would have to assume that he knows, because the way that I found out about it was old school GBP. Or GPP, sorry. Ghost Who Podcast.
Yeah.
Not Galactic Bubbles Productions.
Yes.
GPP.
No, I was trying to figure out what GBB was. I was like, I don't know.
Okay, so
I'm not going to ask either.
And you heard another thing, and I
Yep.
meant a third thing. Okay. everyone was wrong in that in a fantastic way.
This is why eyewitnesses are very bad to be relied upon in court cases.
Yeah. And it was from an old school GPP where it was Bear was talking about how he's actually an otter, not a bear. And that just stuck in my mind from that point on, because my mind is a frightening, frightening thing.
As brains are.
Yeah. Especially spurg brains. You don't even know why shit sticks in your head. It just does, and then refuses to ever release.
This is why I smoke weed. Maybe I'll remember it. Maybe I won't. We'll find out later.
But
well, that's like I was talking to a couple of coworkers, and they were talking about what the hell's his name?
Bob.
No,
Frank.
He does the. He was an old
Mr. McGillicuddy.
He was an old country singer who did parodies.
Rodney Carrington?
No, older.
Older.
Like old.
Ray Stevens?
Ray Stevens.
Okay.
And
they called him Streak. Boogie that, boogie that, boogie that.
Well, every time that everyone brings up Ray Stevens, I flash back to a commercial where he had an album, like he was selling an album, and I think it was a greatest hits compilation, and Guitar Zan started playing, and him dancing with the fake guitar hugging around his neck always sticks in my head. It always plays whenever anyone brings up Ray Stevens.
Okay. That's kind of like how, for some reason, well, I know the reason why. Anytime that I see Matt Damon or hear the name Matt Damon, two things immediately pop into my mind. One, of course,
I hear Team America.
Team America, Matt Damon. That's one of them. The other one is I was hanging out with one of my friends at a convention, and we had just sat down for a moment in the hotel room just to kind of relax before going to something else. And on the TV is a commercial. And the commercial starts with like, "Hi, my name is Joe." And my friend just like went to brush his teeth or something, sticks his head back out and goes, "Hi, Joe." Goes back into the bathroom and then immediately whips back out. "Wait a minute, you're not Joe. You fucking lied to me. You're Matt fucking Damon." So from now on, from that moment on, every time I hear or see Matt Damon, I just think, "You fucking lied to me. You're Matt fucking Damon."
But no, it's amazing what triggers a memory. It's really odd.
Yeah, well, I think of Ray Stevens, like I said, I think of that song, "The Streak," and then he had another one. The last one I remember hearing of him do was after September 11th. He made one about Bin Laden, and I don't recall how that one goes off the top of my head. I just
damn, I was just about to say, hum a few bars.
If you can.
Well, Johnny, you could probably pull it up faster than I could try and recover that foggy memory.
Yeah, probably.
Because that would have been what, 2002, 2003, somewhere around there,
Give or take.
when that would have came out.
I remember what you're talking. I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember the song either.
But yeah, like I remember like my mom talking about old Ray Stevens songs, and the one that she'd always go to was the Streak. You know? It came around that corner wearing nothing but a pair of tennis shoes and a smile.
Nice. So,
Climb the street. Whee!
when we first started out, Johnny mentioned something about having a topic.
Yeah, and per usual, it derails, and we end up talking about Ray Stevens.
Ray Stevens streaking.
Fucking David. Yeah.
Although, you know,
And bears being wrongly accused.
Yeah.
And whether Paulina knows that otters are, average size hairy gay men.
Yeah, and whether it's racist calling a brown bear a black bear.
It's some kind of ism. I know that.
well, I'm
Not
sure,
entirely sure which one,
I'm
but
sure they gather them in some sort of hive mind. The black,
it's
black and brown bear.
it's some sort of ism or phobia.
Wait, so they become box?
Bibok.
Yeah, are they box? Are they bears of color?
Oh, black indigenous bears of color.
It's difficult to get non-indigenous bears.
I mean, you could import them, I suppose.
Yeah, that takes a lot.
I mean, you're not really going to call pandas fucking indigenous, are you?
Like I said, that takes a lot of time and money. And pandas clearly deserve to die off. They don't even want to fuck each other. We have
But
to.
then where will we get our express Chinese food from, Sanguine?
We
If there's
have
no
to
pandas.
film panda porn. And I don't mean we film porn of pandas. I mean that for some fucking reason, in order to get pandas to fuck each other, you have to film two people in panda suits fucking? And then show that to the pandas to make them realize, oh, I stick it in here.
Oh, is that how this works?
Huh?
But no, I did actually have the topic of things that recently we have lost the amazing Jonathan.
Because, yes, Terry, he had to spoil it. He says, is the topic the amazing Jonathan dying?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Spoiler. He, I believe he died of a heart
Defect
that finally reared its head.
It didn't just finally rear its head. He had it for a long time, and for a good long while, he wasn't treating with medication.
Yeah. And
so I'm sad that he's gone, but I'm kind of surprised he lasted this long, considering how he was not taking care of himself for
ever
years. Well, there was that one documentary. I don't know if it was that Steve Byrne that did that one.
There's the one
with his assistant or whatever, his friend.
Yeah, that's the one that I have pinned in the comment. Up above. It is. It's a pretty good one. Yeah, it was done. It was directed by Steve Byrne, and then it's got a bunch of backstories, interviews with his mom, and stuff. There's also one on Hulu, which is dog shit, because it started off and it's funny because the guy who was interviewed about the Hulu documentary was like, "Well, it's supposed to be contrived." It's like,
huh?
No, it's not. Like,
yeah, that's like, damn it, what's the name of the movie with the guy from The Shield that made everyone that knew Belushi hate him for the longest
Michael
period of time?
Chiklis.
Yes, what's the name of the movie that it was Michael Chiklis in the biographical comedy?
That's where he lost his hair too.
Yeah, and it's the one that, like I said, made everyone who knew Belushi hate Michael Chiklis for a while.
1 second, let me pull it up.
Well, we're back to IMDb here.
I want to say it's Hardwire.
1 second. So I didn't know how to spell his last name, so I just went to The Shield first.
Nice.
And with the weather being as shit as it has been, my computer's running a little slow. I didn't want to pull up pictures from the Shield. I wanted to click on his name, you asshole.
Don't you lie, you just wanted to look at his chrome dome.
No, I clicked on Michael Chiklis's name, and apparently it tried to get me to look at still pictures from the Shield.
I want to say it was something like Hardwired.
Why the fuck would I look up Michael Cera?
Because maybe you want to find out one of the names of the movies where Michael Cera just plays Michael Cera because Michael Cera can only play Michael Cera.
Let's see. We got Miami Vice. Wired is what it's called.
Wired, okay. I know it
Yeah,
has
it's 1989.
Yep, and like I said, it just made everyone that knew Belushi hate him for an extended period of time, and then they realized he was just someone trying to get into act. Okay, well, it wasn't your fault that the movie was shit. It was the writer and director.
Oh wow, they had a bunch of people in this movie that are actually fairly decent.
Yep.
Like that, you know, Michael Chiklis was John Belushi. J.T. Walsh played Bob Woodward.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know who J.T. Walsh is, he was in A Few Good Men. He was the guy working under Jack Nicholson.
Mm-hmm.
Shot himself in his dress blues. Lucinda, Jenny, Jerry Burns. Jerry Burns. I really enjoyed him in Justified, and I think he was also in Burn Notice.
That's hilarious. I just got the notification for the stream.
Yeah, I figured that it's...
Clyde Kusatsu was in this one? Huh. Oh shit, what all was he in? Because he was I remember seeing him in a bunch of different stuff. I'm going to go down a rabbit hole of old actors right now.
But anyway, so yeah, he directed this one. The Hulu one started off as, you know, a outside looking in type documentary, as it's supposed to. But it just turned into like a Dateline piece. And so, yeah, he just completely abandoned doing a documentary and just made it a hit piece.
Fantastic. So it was a straight-up hit piece on The Amazing Jonathan?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, at least the parts that I watched, it just took a downhill turn, and I'm just like, I can't watch this shit.
Okay, that's probably where I remember him from then.
And he rushed it because he wanted to have it out before. I think Steve Byrne had announced he was making one at the same, like either before or at the same time.
Oh, that's how you know it's going to be a really high quality, just magnum opus when part of the development cycle is. So we found out someone else was doing something similar, so we just slapped that shit through as fast as we could.
Yeah.
Always just a real good sign of quality workmanship, right?
Of course.
Oh no, okay. So I probably saw him in that too. I was going down the film credits for Clyde Kusatsu. He was Harold's dad in Harold and Kumar Escape Guantanamo Bay. And I probably saw him on an episode of Nip Tuck back in the early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I didn't know there was a Law and Order LA. How long did that last?
1 season.
Exactly. That's why I didn't know it last. It was a thing.
It started off shit, and by the time they made it good, it was too late.
Well, he does a lot of voice acting as well.
Yeah, he was in Hit Monkey. Only one episode, but yeah.
Hit
Was
Monkey.
Hit Monkey any good?
Yeah, it was actually pretty good.
Okay, yeah, I saw the adverts for it, and it looked like it would be interesting, but just never
On Hulu?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I'll have to give it a look.
Did it play things more straight or more funny?
It kind of kept it balanced, although it really was more. They played. God, what the hell's his name? Jason Sudeikis.
Mm-hmm.
As Jason Sudeikis. I mean, he's pretty much a one trick pony. Also, speaking of Michael Cera, but he does it really well.
Well, because
I mean, that's his thing.
Playing one character is someone who is somewhat charming, whereas Michael Cera is his one character is the anti-charm. You don't go, yeah, I really like that guy. You're always kind of going, he makes me feel funny. Like, I'm worried that he's touching someone every time that he's not on screen.
So Sean Penn is trending.
Why?
Apparently, he's filming a documentary in Ukraine about the Russian invasion. Variety's they tweeted it out with a picture of him with a with a vest and a Kevlar helmet. When's the last time you guys saw a Sean Penn movie?
I Am Sam.
Goddamn ages. I can't even remember the last Sean Penn movie that I've seen.
Well, see, I'm wondering if, like, which one came first? Was it I Am Sam or Mystic River?
I think Mystic River came first.
Then I'd probably be right there along with Johnny. The last one I saw, Sean Penn movie was I Am Sam. And that was fucking, ugh. I don't like those kind of movies.
To say the least?
No, I don't like those kinds of movies.
After I Am Sam, actually.
Okay, then Mystic River was the last one I saw.
And that is the same for me. I Am Sam was pretty cringe.
Well, yeah. What got me was the whole kid actor aspect of it, you know? Because, like, I could realize, like, oh, this is Sean Penn playing a retarded person. But it was still, like, seeing the kid crying and whatnot, like, you know, I don't like movies like that. And also, like, I don't like animal movies. You know? That girlfriend, she sprung that, was that a Richard Gere one with the dog? It was, like, based off of a true story about a dog in Japan.
Hachi.
That, yeah. Oh. She sprung that one on me one day without, without me knowing what was going on. Yeah, yeah. She looks over, she's like, "Are you crying?" I was like, "Crying like a fucking man."
Yeah, that is. I was just thinking that Assassin. I Am Sam is where "Never Go Full Retard" comes from.
Yep. Exactly. Yes. Yes. Yeah. I will cry at animal movies. I don't give a fuck.
What if it's a movie that is an animal movie, but it's an animal movie where you get to see someone's leg get broken?
Depends.
Not an animal leg.
Is this like
an actress's leg get broken?
Is this actress going to have like a compound fracture with a bone sticking through the skin and whatnot? Because
you don't.
Not crazy about those.
You don't see it that bad, but you can tell exactly when it happens.
Does it like fold up like one of those like weightlifter videos where like the dude's on the leg sled or whatever?
No, you can just see that that's not the right angle. It's a film that was supposed to be... I'm quickly double checking to make sure that I'm remembering the right film for it. Because it was a movie that came out, I want to say in like the 80s, where It was supposed to be somewhat of a animal horror movie, and it ended up just being, oh good fucking god, because it was filmed on a shoestring budget that involved just, yeah, so we let the wild tigers and lions into the household with the small children actors.
And I think Assassin's asking me this. He says, "So John Wick?" Question mark. I don't have any problems with John Wick. That dog was killed off screen. All you heard was a bit of a yelp.
Okay, it was the movie that I was thinking. The movie name is Roar, and it's 1981. It was marketed as an adventure comedy film. You see someone's leg get snapped by an elephant, and you see someone's face get clawed open by a big cat. Neither of which were fake.
Wow.
Because, like I said, they did it on a shoestring budget. They had a big game wildlife preserve with animals, and it was effectively, okay, so we're going to put all the actors right in there with the animals. Okay, so these are like trained stunt animals. No. So you have like handlers or things like that in order to keep these people safe, right? No. So you're going to be filming the scene twice, and then you're going to overlay the footage so it looks like the animals are in with the actors? No. We're just going to throw the actors into the same area as these wild animals. And everything will be fine.
Cannibalistic says, "I saw a video of two tards kicking each other in the shins with their shin until one guy snapped his in half." Well, I mean, there was that one Anderson Silva fight where he snapped his leg, and then Conor McGregor, his last fight against Dustin Poirier, he broke his ankle.
Mm-hmm.
Had to stop that fight. I go back to like football injuries, like Willis McGahee in the national championship against Ohio State. You see his leg, like just bending the wrong way at the knee when he blew it out. And it's like, oh, that's not good.
The worst sports-related injury I've ever seen, I saw live. And it was when I was in high school. Someone wore the wrong type of cleats. Are you guys familiar that there's a turf cleat and then there's a grass cleat?
Yes.
I had only ever played on grass, so I didn't even think about it, but makes sense.
Yeah, there's a turf cleat and there's a grass cleat. You can wear turf cleats on grass and you're perfectly fine.
But if you wear grass cleats on turf...
Yeah, never wear grass cleats on turf because they stick.
Ooh.
So the injury was one of the guys who I knew, one of the guys on the football team with me. He played both freshman and was able to jump up. And this was one of the times when he went back to play with the freshmen that this happened. He was running a pattern and had just received the ball, went to turn. So he turns, his foot doesn't turn. His leg is now awkwardly twisted as his other foot comes down, and he's about to try to rip his foot up off the ground as he got tackled by a lineman.
So what'd he tear?
Everything?
His leg was broken in 7 places.
Oh, God.
Spiral fracture the entire way.
God damn.
3 of them compound.
Ooh.
So it was a 7-way comminuted 3-way compound spiral fracture of the tib, fib, and femur.
My God, man, that. What was he playing against Lawrence Taylor's kid?
He just the way that his foot stuck, when it stuck, and how it was twisted when he got tackled by the lineman. Because linemen are 250, 300 pounds.
Well, hold on one second. Johnny, I know you're not a sports ball guy. So Lawrence Taylor, he was in The Water
Lawrence
Boy.
Taylor is.
Are you aware of him snapping Joe Theismann's leg like a toothpick?
Yeah, that's yeah, he still talks about that.
I'm sure that and cocaine, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just horrendous fracture. And it was one of those breaks that, you know how if you're close enough to someone breaking their leg, you can hear it break?
Yeah.
You know how it doesn't matter how close you are to starting pistol, you can hear the starting pistol? His leg was closer to the sound of a starting pistol than a standard break.
Well, it's like when Joe Namath was talking about his leg. He's like, it sounded like a shotgun went off.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Was it Namath?
And it's...
No, it wasn't Amos. It was Joe Theismann.
Theismann. Yeah, that's right.
Yep. It's...
I always thought it was funny the way I heard his last name pronounced. I was like, didn't he like break his leg? Theismann? That's
Yep. It's kind of like, you guys have seen the videos that are often muted where someone pops their ligaments. And I don't mean pop like cracking your finger pop, but I mean they just tear the ligament.
Like I said earlier, the ones that make me really want to cringe is the seeing those dudes doing like the leg presses.
Yep.
And I saw one earlier today. And I knew what was going to happen as soon as I saw the way he was doing it too. Like he was really
he locked out his leg.
Well, no, he was going like not just for weight, but also he was like trying to be explosive with it.
Yep, and locked out his leg, and it.
Well, yeah, one leg locked out, without him, I guess, realizing it. And as soon as that sled came back, like his left leg just crumpled up the wrong way.
Yep.
And that's when I just started scrolling again. I was like, nope, don't want to see anymore.
Now watching. I know where this is going.
Yeah, if you've ever had a ligament pop on you, or you've been close enough to ligament popping, it is a sound that will just stick with you to the point where even when you see those videos where it's muted, you hear it.
Like, I just feel
because
it. There's no need to hear.
But you'll just hear, even with the sound off, that clicking noise of the ligament just popping. It is one of those things that just sticks with you.
Okay, this is...
Did you just look up someone's leg getting reversed?
No, God, no. I don't know if this is worse or not, though. You guys know that they're doing a live-action Little Mermaid?
I heard they were.
Are they going to get a actual flipper person in order to have increased diversity?
No, actually, they picked Melissa McCarthy over Lizzo to play Ursula.
She's fat enough, but can she sing?
I'm not aware if either one of them can sing. I've not listened to a single Lizzo song.
Lizzo claims that she can sing is the most generous claim that I can make about that.
The only thing I've heard out of Lizzo is her losing her breath.
Mm-hmm.
There's a quote on the BuzzFeed when it says, "I was down to make Ursula a thought." It's like, I'm sorry, what? Like, bitch, this is a Disney movie. What are you trying to... What?
But yeah, it's... Like I said, she's big enough to play Ursula, but the thing that everyone remembers about Ursula is that goddamn voice.
Ursula has to be a fucking drag queen, so it's cannibalistic. I didn't Divine pass away, or is she still around? I would nominate Divine.
You need that nice, big, round-sounding voice for Ursula.
And Keyboard says that Lizzo did a nauseating TED Talk that Scribe covered. Well, you know, I on twerking. That's TED Talk material now.
Well, it was the cultural importance of twerking.
Like I said, anything's a TED Talk if you pay enough.
I mean, I gotta admit, I have not caught a lot of Scribe's TED. I love Scribe. I love the Expatriate Games series he did, but I can't sit through those. Like he finds some just it's too painful.
Absolutely brutal TED Talk.
And I have invited him to a Torture is How You Make Friends. And
yeah, we owe him for some of the TED Talks that I've seen back in the day.
I even told him which one I would invite him to because it would be particularly in his wheelhouse.
Ursula was based on Divine, she died in '88. Okay.
And it's I'm waiting for word from him. So and I'm still waiting. I'm forever waiting by the phone.
You're waiting on Scribe. I'm waiting on Sinatra.
Teenage girl with waiting for the prom date. Waiting for that phone call.
Waiting for Dad to come home with cigarettes. But you need that massive voice for Ursula because that's what makes that song. Poor Unfortunate Souls, you can't have with any other voice other than just this nice, big, round, malevolent sounding voice. It'd be like, do you guys remember it wasn't Disney, it was one of the other animation studios, did the Anastasia movie? Do you guys remember the Anastasia movie?
Very vaguely. I don't recall really anything about it other than it was a movie.
It had one of my favorite villain songs from any movie in that time period, which was the song that Rasputin sings. Because they gave Rasputin this nice, big, full voice.
Wait, you say it Rasputin?
Yes.
You don't do the Rasputin or whatever?
No, because
Christopher Lloyd played Rasputin.
I'm American. Yeah, and Christopher Lloyd has a nice voice.
Well, I'm sorry. Like Dankula did the Mad Lads on him last year, and I really enjoy that song by Boney M. So, I've caught myself saying Rasputin instead of Rasputin.
Yep. I don't say it that way unless I'm thinking of that song, and then sometimes I'll say Rasputin. But
exactly, like Cannibalistic right there. Yeah, like anytime his name's brought up, I automatically go to Rasputin.
Lover of a
Cannibalistic Wizard got you there.
Yeah,
That's what he just fucking said.
You know what?
Way to listen to your guests, Johnny.
I am late to the party per usual. And I'm the one running the party.
I've been dealing with this for years, Sanguine. It's okay.
Making it feel like you don't even care about him.
About who? No, I'm just kidding.
Anyway, 13 Ukrainian border guards were...
He sits alone at the phone just waiting for you to call him.
No, I just wait till he's on the toilet, apparently.
I told you, dude, don't be trying to message me before noon.
Wait, are you just on the toilet from every point before noon?
No, but invariably,
what
whenever
point
he
do you
tries to message
start
me
going
before
on the toilet?
noon. No, I'm just saying, invariably, whenever he tries to message me before noon, yeah, I'm sitting on the toilet scrolling Twitter. And I make sure to tell him as much, so that way he'll stop messaging me before noon.
And what's really funny is like I will hesitate before I call him, just because I'm like, I think he's gonna be on.
Oh yeah, sometimes it's calls too. And
It's
it's
gonna
like,
be. He's
yeah,
gonna
I'm
be
not
on,
answering.
He's gonna be on the toilet, and all of a sudden I'm like, I'll wait a half an hour, and then I'll call, and he's like, man, I'll get you back in a bit.
See, what you don't know, Camel, is that you think that it's all just happenstance, and you're telling him that you're on the toilet in no blunt or no obfuscating terms because you think that that'll put him off. No, that's why he calls you before. He specifically plans it out. Let's see. He said that he was having some high fiber food yesterday. Okay, now should be the right time.
I have not checked on his dietary habits.
He knows I eat junk. I'm not sitting there eating high fiber foods. Come on.
In that case, he hasn't had fiber in 4 months. If I call now, he's probably mid shits.
I spent like a month and a half eating out of a vending machine, so if it weren't for smoking Camel cigarettes, I probably would have went with a raccoon as my avatar.
Goddamn trash panda.
Exactly.
No, that's insulting to raccoons. Raccoons at least know how to fuck each other. They don't need to be shown how to fuck by humans wearing raccoon suits. That is still the part that just pisses me off the most about pandas. Well, actually, no. That is the part that pisses me off second most about pandas. The main thing that pisses me off about pandas is that, you know how pandas just eat bamboo?
Yeah.
Right? Do you know that their entire fucking body, digestive system, teeth, mouth, everything like that is designed to be omnivoric? It's designed for being an omnivore, not being a fucking herbivore. Why the fuck are you just eating bamboo, the shit that your body can't even properly process, so you have to eat an insane amount of it when you can eat meat, you fat fuck? How the hell are you that big and you're eating the least efficient source of nutrient for you, and it's not even something that is hard programmed into you? It's not like koalas. Koalas are kind of fucked over because they have to eat eucalyptus. Eucalyptus is slightly poisonous to koalas, so they end up getting stoned off their ass as their body has to ferment the eucalyptus leaves in them in order for them to not be killed stone dead. That's one of the reasons why they're kind of dopey. No, panda bears don't have that excuse. They're just bears that decided at some point, apparently, that we're just going to stop eating meat. You still have teeth for it. Yeah, but we don't feel like it. Fuck you, pandas. Fuck you.
I mean, I understand picky eaters, so I can respect that.
They're land-bound sunfish. And don't get me started on sunfish. They're an abomination.
I mean, now I kind of want to, but this could go on a while, so.
Have you ever seen a sunfish?
I don't know how much time I want to dedicate to sunfish.
Have you ever seen a sunfish, Camel? Have you ever seen one of those big, stupid, disc-like fish that don't even have a fucking swim bladder?
Wait, aren't these are freshwater fish, yeah?
No, these are saltwater. These are oceanic
Oh, they know.
fish.
They know.
Okay, I need to...
There's some kind of fish, freshwater fish, I think. Got sun in the name somewhere. I think they've got them in some lakes in Oklahoma.
Okay,
but no, I've not.
Pull up an image of an oceanic sunfish, and I'll show you.
I've been to the ocean once.
Motherfuckers.
I've been to the ocean once. I got in about ankle deep, and then I went back to the hotel pool. I was like, yeah, fuck that noise.
These
I saw the ocean for the first time. I think it was 2013 or 14, and I got about knee deep and got yelled at by some salmon fishermen, and then I left.
Yeah, I went ankle deep because I know, like, 3 feet's around where most shark attacks happen. So I figured, ankle deep, they're not going to be able to swim with me and bite me. And also, don't
Okay.
risk getting pulled out to sea and landing in fucking Cuba or something. So
This retarded goddamn disc of a fish is a sunfish. They are completely goddamn pointless. They are absolutely riddled with parasites to the point where they aren't fit to be consumed by pretty much anything. You see how they have that kind of weird ripply ass rather than a fin in back? That's because their fins are retarded and they don't even grow in right. Their tail doesn't grow right. It just kind of folds in upon itself and is useless. So they have to steer themselves around with those retarded little flippers up front that don't ever goddamn grow. They're just these tiny little nubbins that they kind of ineffectively bat at the water with. They don't even move them in time to get a stronger stroke. No, they just kind of get bobbed along and slapped around by the waves. They lack a swim bladder, so the only way that they can stay upright is by constantly flapping those useless goddamn things up front. They sometimes get knocked over by waves and end up floating on the surface of the ocean. They have no way of righting themselves. They're just stuck there until they fucking die. Those two fins on the top and bottom do absolutely nothing to help them. They just float along, flipping around with their tiny little goddamn retard hands as they get riddled with parasites. They get eaten without fucking realizing that they're being eaten. Other creatures, there's pictures that you can find of like that top portion of the sunfish's head being actively consumed by sea lions and shit like that without the sunfish doing a goddamn thing because they're just absolutely skull-fucked, gormless cretins of the ocean. They are the most useless animals in existence.
See, what I'm hearing is that sea lions have a mobile buffet, and I don't see why you're getting so upset.
Because the animal is useless. They have these...
Apparently not sea lions.
No, because the thing is that you can't eat the majority of a sunfish because, like I said early on, they're ridiculously parasite-ridden. So most things can't eat them. And even the things that do, like the sea lions that will eat part of its head, they don't actually consume the entire sunfish. They kind of just take a bite out of it, go, and spit it back out. Because they're fucking useless. They're pointless goddamn creatures that just take up energy. And other creatures will try to kill them just by batting them around. Because there's nothing that the sunfish can do against them. And there's no purpose that the sunfish really serves. They just continue to grow larger and larger and larger. Oh, yeah, and that's one of the things about sunfish. Sunfish are one of the species that don't really have a max size. They just keep on growing in this retarded blob of a fish until something finally puts it out of its goddamn misery and kills it, but it's too stupid to even realize that it was miserable before it was killed. Just fuck these creatures.
Well, Elwyn is taking things off of her bucket list, so so far we've crossed pandas off and dolphins. Swim with dolphins. So what else of the natural world do you guys not want her to experience? Go ahead, throw it in chat.
No, dolphins are fine. Dolphins are rapey, but dolphins are kind of cool otherwise. Just be careful. Don't let any of them come swimming up and just ram that thing into you.
So, just out of curiosity, it's the big news item. Anybody care about Ukraine?
To a degree, not really.
Yeah, I'm not. I heard Short Fat Otaku and Lilith Lovett doing one of their streams earlier today about Ukraine. It's like, oh, this is probably one of the first things I've heard him talk about that I'm like, yeah, no, not buying in on this one.
Yeah, the Ukraine was made a mess. And now the Ukrainians are suffering because of the mess that everyone else made. That's the thing that pisses me off about it. Because the entire reason this shit's happening is, first off, you guys remember a couple of years ago when Putin was saying that he was actively searching for a replacement, right?
A couple of years ago, I remember, like, didn't
2019, 2020.
He had, like, I remember him switching, like, posts with a guy. Was it Medvedev? Dmitry something.
Might have been. But yeah, it was 2019, 2020. He was searching for a replacement because he was talking about stepping down.
Yeah, I don't recall that at all, actually.
Yeah, it happened for a few months, like I said, 2019, 2020, and most of it was because Russia was getting completely fucked over by U.S. economic policy.
So he didn't want to be left holding the bag when...
Yeah, it made him look bad because Russia was getting fucked over a barrel. The U.S., at this time, this was when we were energy independent. Everyone remember those good days, right?
I remember when gas was less than $3 a gallon. Yeah, those were nice days.
When gas was in fact less than $2 a gallon. Ooh, those were really good days. So the reason for that was the U.S. started producing a hell of a lot of gas, and other petrochems. As we produce more petrochems, and we were doing it cheaper, more efficiently, just amazing shit was happening in that field. The global price of petrochems started to fall because we just kept on pumping them out. We reached a point where functionally places were having to sell people barrels of oil. Or actually, not sell people barrels of oil. They had to get people to pay for the barrel rather than the oil in the barrel. Because the price of oil for a short period of time almost went negative. We were producing so much. Guess what? One of the main cornerstones of the Russian economy is. I'll give you a hint. It shares it with OPEC. It's the oil. So we put so much oil out into the market that the price of oil was in fucking free fall. People were having to pay more for the barrel than they were for the oil in the barrel. And Russia was getting fucked for it. Then we had a new administration come in. Guess what we stopped doing almost immediately?
Yeah.
So, as we've all noticed, the price of gas starts to climb. And it keeps climbing.
Well, the gas in my area has been steady at around between $3.10 and $3.20 a gallon, depending on where in town to go looking. And that's for the 10% ethanol blend. If you want, straight gasoline, that's like between $3.50 and $3.60. and change.
So, and you heard the recent thing about ethanol, right?
No.
Studies are showing that ethanol is actually a worse pollutant than the gases.
Well, I mean, we got to subsidize corn some way, Sanguine. Come on. It's not enough that we put it in all of our foods and a bunch of other shit.
And the fact that we're decreasing the amount that we have for food supply and all that shit in order to pump it into gas for some goddamn reason. But, yeah, it came out in studies, I think last week, that ethanol looks like it might be a bigger contributor to greenhouse gases than the gasoline is. So now they're finding out that they fucked it up again.
So I'm just curious, when did as a society we stop making things better and just started making them worse? Because it seems like every ever so often, oh, this big change we made, a few years ago, yeah, it'll kill you faster, whatever.
We started doing that mainly when we started saying, hey, government, you know how you have restrictions on what you should and shouldn't do? How about we get rid of those? How about we make it so that you're able to demand that all fuel has a certain percent of ethanol in it? How about we allow you to tax shit just for shits and gigs? Like, hey, there's a soda that you want? Well, you now have to pay an additional amount for that amount of soda. Because if you don't, then that would be unhealthy. But if you pay more, then that makes it better. It's all just bullshit, big government. And it allowed the government to say that they have the experts in everything. And the government only has the experts in getting money for doing fucking nothing. When you look at Fauci's probably the best example of this. If Fauci was in any employment other than the government, he would have been fired ages ago. He would have been fired when he kept saying, after it was widely and well known that AIDS was a blood and bodily fluids transmission, he kept on saying, no, I think AIDS can be transmitted through the air. I think AIDS is airborne. Everyone else is going, no, AIDS is not airborne. AIDS is bodily fluids and blood. No, AIDS is airborne.
I'm willing to bet you that Tony's got him a nice collection of high-quality GIMP masks.
Well, he did frequent a lot of interesting bathhouses back in the day.
I'm fairly confident that the whole mask thing is just a fetish for him.
But he did that during the AIDS epidemic. So he was wrong during the AIDS epidemic. But that's just one mistake, right? A little mistake. I mean, saying that AIDS was airborne after everyone else in the scientific community was saying that no, it's blood bodily fluid. Him still insisting, no. I think the real problem here is not the sex and drug use. It's that if a parent in a household has AIDS, then they can transmit it to their child by eating out of the same cereal box. The fuck? So he was wrong about that. Next issue came up, he was wrong about as well. Next issue, he was wrong about as well. Next issue, he was wrong about as well. Skip ahead to modern day, and who's in charge of the government policy dealing with the coronavirus? The person that's been wrong on every single virus that he's talked about? But we've granted the government the ability to say that they're the experts. And if you doubt the government, then you're just engaging in conspiracy theories. And You're just not listening to the science. There is no organized group that has complete control.
He was as
Over.
right as whoever was patting his pockets.
There's no individual that has complete control over the science or claim to the science. And we've lost sight of a scientific consensus doesn't fucking matter unless it's a begrudging one. There should only be consensus if you failed to disprove what the other person's saying. It just pisses me off.
Trying to see what else is going on. Just a lot of Ukraine stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like even the porn accounts I was following, like even they're talking about Ukraine. It's like, I did not want to hear your opinion on geopolitics, sweetheart. Everyone's talking about Ukraine. It's ridiculous.
Come on, they probably know a thing or two about getting rammed by a Russian.
I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna say anything else.
Not going to deny that.
Hammer is trending. What did Hammer do?
No clue.
Okay, I guess they're talking. There's a picture of MC Hammer with Tupac, Snoop Dogg, Suge Knight. Heavy airstrikes, Hammer, Ukraine. Just the word hammer, apparently.
Shame it wasn't trending last night.
There's some pictures of Jen Psaki wearing that Russian hat with the hammer and sickle. This trending tag is all over the place, man.
It pisses me off that we had the government talking so tough, and it's obvious that the government's just going to puss out. Either don't talk tough, therefore you aren't pussing out when you don't do shit, or if you're going to talk tough, follow through.
Yeah, what was that phrase by some former American politician? Speak softly.
Stick.
Yeah. God, who was that guy? He seemed to really not let me play this one out, are you, Sanguine?
Nope.
Okay.
Mainly because Teddy Roosevelt.
No fun for you.
Awesome. Teddy Roosevelt's just fucking awesome, like we were talking about last week.
Yeah, he's the one president like every 6-year-old boy wants to be.
Mm-hmm.
Well, especially when you can take a shot, and then instead of just being like, "Oh, I should probably take care of this," is like, "I got a speech to finish."
Yeah. Skep Tock pulled it up and read it off last week, if I remember correctly. His line was effectively, "I'm not sure if you guys all realize what just happened. I was just shot, but it'll take more than a bullet to kill a bull moose." And he just started speaking again. That was his, oh. So anyways, for being shot. Also, the motherfucker exercised himself out of asthma. Because he was young, he had asthma, and he decided, fuck this, my body doesn't get to be weak, and he just started throwing himself into sports and long-distance running until he no longer had asthma. What the fuck?
Not only that, he went and worked on a dude ranch.
Mm-hmm.
Ranching dudes. That's how that works, right?
Yeah, that's where all the Broncos go in order to wrangle some dudes. And that's how the Cowboys team is made.
And that's where the Bears came from.
Oh, looks like Lord Miles is going to go to Ukraine.
Lord Miles is such a fucking interesting character. I love it.
Who's Lord Miles?
Oh, you don't know about Lord Miles? This is a
Do
dude
you remember
that,
Miles of Kabul?
No.
Well, when what was it? When they were pulling out of Afghanistan, he went over there, or was it before that?
Miles of Kabul, Lord Miles, is a very interesting guy from England. He is from a fairly moneyed family, if I remember correctly. Not ridiculously well off, but stably well off.
He's got enough money to go fuck around Afghanistan while the Taliban are taking back over, you know, just on vacation.
He's Christian, and he wants to give to charity, but he hates current charities because he looked into a bunch of them and went, okay, so if I give to, I don't know, Bono's charity, how much actually goes to the person that I'm trying to get the money to? 1%? I'm not giving to fucking Bono's charity. Okay, if I give to this charity, how much? 2%? This one? 1.5? And he just decided, you know what? Fuck charities. I'll just go give people money directly. And he decided that he would go to all the countries that are the most dangerous to be Christian in.
Okay, so this is from an hour ago. Okay, guys, I've got a team of veterans together from across the world flying in. I've got some medics setting up a medical center and safe house on the Polish border, and I'll be riding with a team in Ukraine. I'll put up a charity event with proof of work done to help Ukraine, which he didn't even spell Ukraine right at the end there. The French guy will be transporting people across the border and giving out food. U.S. vets will be doing medical and safe house work. I'll be riding with some special people and coordinating to get people out who need it most.
Mm-hmm.
I heard about this dude. He did an interview with Dankula.
Yep. He also did one with Sargon's group at the Lotus Eaters.
Oh, I haven't really kept track of the Lotus Eaters, so.
But
yeah, he's just a ridiculous dude. Like, yeah, he not only that, not only his bio. I went to Afghanistan during the fall of Kabul, then South Sudan, Kazakhstan during the riots, and now Ukraine. Media inquiries.
This is the dude that you might have heard about a little bit during the fall of Kabul, where it was just this insane Englishman walking around, and he met the Taliban, and at one point was stopped, and they demanded to know if he was English. Do you know what his response was, Camel?
God save the Queen?
No, his response was, English? No, I'm Welsh. And the Taliban members, according to how he tells it, just kind of look at each other like, Welsh? Where's Wales? What's Welsh? What do you mean? I'm from Wales. Do you like the English? Is that part of England? No, we hate the English. Oh, okay. Have a good day.
Wait, is he really from Wales?
Yeah, I think he's Welsh.
Oh, see, I just, they all go in the same pot. British.
Mm-hmm. But he got away by saying that he was Welsh and saying that, no, the Welsh hate the fucking English.
I mean, like, you would always hear about, Americans going abroad, putting the Canadian flag on their backpacks and shit. So, like, smart thinking, man. Quick on his feet. Got to give him credit.
He went to the Sudan after that and started touring around there. People started trying to dox where he was at given points, started trying to alert his position to some of the groups that were actively killing Christians in Sudan. So he ended up having to eventually bug out of there. But yeah, his entire thing is he goes to countries that it's dangerous to be a Christian in, to give money to individual people and help individual people better their lives and get out of the situations that they're in. And his one criteria is if he meets someone and they're really nice, yeah, he'll just hand them a handful of money.
So, John, you want to make a trade for the Ukraine, see if we can get some cash?
Well, I think the cost-benefit analysis is going against it.
But think of all the friends we can make along the way.
Well, isn't that what really life is really all about?
You could pal around with Lord Miles.
I mean, at this rate, I've got some healthcare experience under my belt. Go scrub some bedpans or something. Help out. Yeah, sure. Why not? But yeah, listening to the that short fed Otaku stream earlier, it's like, well, if you feel so strongly about Ukraine, dude, head on over, sign on up. Why why do you think everyone else should give a shit?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry, at this point, I don't care about the rest of the world.
See, like I said, for me, the part that pisses me off the most is the way that our politicians and the administration has handled it. Because if you're going to say that you're going to back someone, you have to fucking back them. If you say, do not cross this line or else XYZ will happen, and the person crosses that line, you have to follow through with XYZ.
Well, like you remember with the red lines in Syria with Obama?
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed that whole development where, like, it's like, if you cross this red line, Russia, we're gonna do something about it. And everyone here in America is like, fuck you, Barry.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't doing shit. And like, you speak French now? Because you're saying we a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of feel like, this is, especially after everything with Afghanistan, like, the administration had to know that we were going to be like, excuse me?
Yeah, but
How about you eat a big bowl and go fuck yourself, sir?
The thing is that's because both Barack and Biden are gutless curs. Because, like I said, if you promise that you're going to help someone, you have to follow through on it. And there's a damn good reason for that. Because that means that if at a later date you're trying to get people's help and you say that you'll do something, they'll look at you and they'll go, well, you've done it every time that you've said that you're going to do it. So, yeah, we'll help. Whereas if you've abandoned every obligation that you've ever made, how likely are other people to help you? If you have a friend, and everyone has this friend at some point or another, it seems, where they ask for your help and they'll say, yeah, I'll give you $10 for it afterwards. And then you help, and they don't give you $10. And then a little bit later, they ask you if they can borrow some cash. They'll pay you back next month. It's just a little bit to tide them over, and you loan the money, and then they don't pay you back next month or the month after or the month after that. And then they say, hey, can you help me move? I'll get pizzas and beers for everyone, and you help them move. And then they ask you to chip in for the pizza and the beer. And in fact, can one of you guys go grab it while I do X, Y, and Z? You're going to stop doing things for that friend.
I'm in my 30s. You're gonna have to do more than just get me pizza and beer if you want me to help you move. Like,
Normally,
this back ain't what it used to be.
Normally, by the time that you're in your 30s, you've gotten rid of those friends. standard, but
Yeah, it's like getting closer to middle age now. Like, I'm not just helping you move a futon, motherfucker. You're gonna need more than a pizza and some beer.
mm-hmm. But you've had that friend at some point, right?
Well, it depends on how
No,
much.
I didn't really hang out with a whole lot of mooches when I was growing up, so no.
That depends
Okay.
on how much of the pizza and beers.
I grew up poor, so nobody was like, "Hey, man."
Johnny, did you ever have that friend?
Yeah, kinda.
I keep telling him I'll gladly repay him next Tuesday.
Yep.
Yeah, except for those aren't burgers.
We got some breaking news. Breaking
Go
news,
ahead.
guys.
All right.
It's officially my birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yes, it is.
12:01 a.m. here in the proper time zone, Central time zone.
Do we have to sing happy birthday to him?
Oh God, no! Please don't.
Since he
No.
said please no, that means that we do have to now, right, Johnny?
This is not opposite day. Although I do enjoy that skit from the Wise Kids, you know.
What is
You'll have to be.
skits?
You'll have to be specific for me.
The courtroom skit where Trevor Moore he tells the jury that it's opposite day, so that way when they go to vote, on his obviously guilty client, they vote not guilty.
Mm-hmm.
And then oh shit, what's that other guy's name? I want to say Derek, but I could be wrong with his name. Troubadour. He's the prosecutor's like, no, it's not opposite day, and like they're even getting like the judge involved and everything.
Mm-hmm.
There, that'll tide you over. I'll put it in chat.
But
The What Is Kids, had some great skits.
they did. They had some really good ones. I love the gallon of PCP one. That was pretty. I always thought that was pretty funny.
The true story of the assassination of Abraham Lincoln.
Oh, listen to the woman, John. Just calm down. Just calm down.
Mr. President, shut up.
Who said that?
What are you doing? You aren't allowed up here. Oh, he's breaking my butt. Stop breaking my butt. He's breaking my butt.
He alternates between calling him skinny and fat.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the Grapist. That's a classic as well. I like
Come on,
Office.
she was asking for it. What? She's wearing purple. Oh, okay. Wait, no, what?
I also like the Office Sniper one.
Yeah, the Office Sniper was a good one.
That's probably one of my top 5 ones.
Babyhead seeking hollow points.
Yeah, I recall that one as well. But yeah,
What's the purpose of Babyhead seeking hollow points? Well, if the Babyhead gang ever attacks you.
Yeah, they're arguing gun control.
Yep. You're going to be really happy that you had Babyhead seeking hollow points if the Babyhead gang ever comes after you.
Ever since he died, I have not been able to bring myself to watch like the Whitest Kids videos or live streams on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever find out how he died?
He apparently was drunk and fell off a balcony. That's the that's the official story anyway. What was that one tweet he had? Like everyone was pointing to that after he died. Like, Oh, the Six Ember Tyrannus bit. That was another good one. I think that was season 1 too.
Like I said, they just had a hell of a lot of really good jokes.
I wonder how far I'd have to scroll back in his tweets to find that. Because
Wait,
I don't even remember exactly how it was worded, so I couldn't just like look up.
You have to scroll back how far, or you aren't sure how far back you're going to have to scroll in his tweets to find that. Surely, if he's dead, it's the last one.
No. It was sometime, I want to say after like lockdown and stuff. So sometime in the last couple of years, but then again, it could have been like as soon as he hopped on Twitter. I have no fucking clue how old this tweet is, but everyone was pointing at it. No, not finding it. Watch, you'll probably be one of the first ones there, and I just scrolled right past it.
Yeah, like I said, if it's a tweet around the time that he died, it has to be the most recent tweet from him if he's dead. Unless they're doing, what was it, Stan Lee's Twitter? That was the one where people kept on tweeting out on Stan Lee's Twitter, right?
Yeah, and well, I mean, shit, John Lennon has a Twitter account. Did you know that, Sanguine?
And I'm assuming you don't mean his son.
Nope, I mean, it is a verified checkmark Twitter account for John Lennon.
Okay. How is it verified?
That's what I was wondering, because I think it was made some tweet, which I think it was saying, something flattering about, Yoko, like, his love for her and yada yada. And I remember quote tweeting, I was like, all right, if there's no hell below us and above us only sky, how the fuck are you tweeting?
Mm-hmm. Also, God damn it, I'm trying to remember who the fuck. I think it might have been Harry to blame, but it might not have been Harry. So if it wasn't Harry, sorry, I'm blaming you for this. The image that was posted a while ago in one of the Minions Discord rooms of it takes seeing two people with really unusual asses to make you feel comfortable with your own ass. And it was John Lennon and Yoko Ono.
Oh yeah, man, they both had frog butt. It was weird.
John Lennon's ass starts just below his rib cage, and Yoko Ono's ends just before the taint, or it starts just before the taint, effectively. So it was this ridiculously tiny, and this just, how is it going that high up your back? What the fuck is going on here?
It's like if you asked kindergartners to draw humans.
Yep. If you asked kindergartners to draw a human butt, these would be two of the examples. Because neither of them were anything near normal. And now every time that I think John Lennon and Yoko Ono, unfortunately that picture pops into my head, much like, you fucking lied to me! You aren't Joe! You're Matt fucking Damon! Also, not a single time that I'm cooking bacon does it not pop into my mind another thing that same friend ended up saying on a drive once, which was, he was cooking bacon bare-ass fucking naked!
Oh yeah, that's... Somehow that always pops up whenever I do that. Like, I think I saw a tweet is like name something you'd never do, or you should never do, and I'm like, yeah, cook bacon naked.
Yeah, this was just on a road trip. My friend and I were driving through kind of rural Pennsylvania in the middle of the fucking night. And he's just looking out the window. And he looks out the window into someone's kitchen, apparently. And the dude's just standing at the hob, butt fucking naked, cooking something. And my friend just blurts out, he's butt fucking naked just cooking bacon! and confuses the rest of us in the vehicle because what the fuck?
I'm just sitting here still scrolling through Trevor Moore's timeline, and I gotta say, man, he had some good ones.
Mm-hmm.
I found a tweet that I really liked, but that's not the tweet that I was thinking of. I put it in the side chat. All I have to say is, man got his wish.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Yep. That he did.
So, any other big stories that...
Cannibalistic asked, did any of us see the video of the Amsterdam cop hitting the guy with a car? No, I did not.
Yeah, I did not either.
Spud Guns, no. Sanguine is not hosting tonight. That's tomorrow night. Johnny is hosting tonight. He has gone incognito, if you weren't aware.
I am a master of disguise.
Regular Dana Carvey, yeah.
Now he's just going to become the Turtle Man at some point, yeah.
That's literally the only line of that movie I remember. It's like, turtle, turtle.
Yeah, it's the line that everyone remembers. And the thing that is just really depressing is Dana Carvey was hilarious in SNL. And then that movie was just so bad. So bad.
I would have expected a church lady movie before seeing that produced.
Yeah. The church lady was funny. All of his characters were funny. And then the Master of Disguise, and you're just going, this is painful. I'm pretty sure putting my nuts in a vice would have been less painful than watching this movie. But we all watched it. We know we all watched it.
Hey, Johnny, how do you feel about being referred to as a geriatric millennial?
I'm not that old.
Apparently, if you're born between 1980 and 1985, you are.
Well, they can suck a fat one, because technically I'm Generation Y.
Do your knees ache?
No, but that statement right there is going to give me an aneurysm.
The question really is like, when are they not? There's always something going on, aches, pains. And it's even more fun, getting old now, because as much as the cold weather sucked before, it sucks even more now.
Mm-hmm. I have...
You get to the point where you can feel like the barometric pressure drop and stuff like, shit, it's about to rain. How do you know? Hip.
I have one knee that has given me problem for over half my life. And it's all because I completely destroyed it playing football. 74% ACL tear freshman year. Woo!
I wrecked my knee after my senior year, like fresh after.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say about that winter. I tore my ACL off at the base. I took my lateral meniscus and folded it back up into the joint.
Mm-hmm.
And I took my medial meniscus and decided to essentially just flatten it.
So did you also lose proprioception like I did?
You mean the feeling in the side of your leg?
The feeling of where your leg is in respect to the rest of your body.
No.
You still have it?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, for me, I lost proprioception from the knee down. So I have no clue where my foot is unless it's currently touching something that I know the location of. Or I'm actively looking at it.
Oh my god, how high was I when I saw that movie? You guys ever see Miss March?
Miss March.
I did not, I don't think.
It's got Trevor Moore and Zach Kreger. Zach wakes up after being in a coma for however long, 4 years, and finds out his high school sweetheart is a Playboy centerfold, like the Jay Giles band song.
Oh, I saw part of it. I think it was.
It got Craig Robinson in it. Yeah. Apparently, I remember seeing that movie, but I completely forgot that Trevor Moore and Zach Kreger were in it. So maybe I have to go back and give that one a look. Soberish at some point. Put it on the list, Johnny.
On the list.
You know, saying I've never actually stopped to ask John if he's got an actual list or, he's just humoring me. I imagine it's probably the latter, but I get a chuckle of thinking he's actually got a list.
Well,
see what you need to
it's
do.
in my head, but it's there.
Okay.
At some point, you need to demand a complete read-through of the list.
I have. It's in my head. I was going to put it on the Discord and then have it locked so no one can actually touch it. And just have it just be empty. Like, this is the list, and then just nothing is on there.
Well, no, at this point, everything's on there. Of course, if we ever actually do sit down and watch it, the first thing we got to do is smoke signals.
Yes.
So I just saw something that pisses me off, and it's unfortunately about the Ukrainian issue. Somehow people think that Biden has done more against Putin than Trump ever did. Which, again, Putin was talking about having to step down, and then he's suddenly more powerful than he ever was.
Correct me if I'm wrong, saying, but didn't Trump launch missiles or something at a base in Syria that had Russians on it?
Yep, he didn't really give a shit. He took out the base, went, fuck you, we told you we'd do this. If you fucked up, you fucked up, we did it. Suck my dick. And that was effectively the response that Trump gave every time that he said okay, this is the red line. Someone would cross it. Exactly what he said would happen. When he said, if you attack our troops, we're going to hit you harder than we've hit you thus far. They attacked our troops. We fucking killed Soleimani. That was the response. It was immediate. It was not well, we told you that this would happen, and now you're going to force our hand. Why did you attack our troops? No, it was, motherfucker, did I stutter?
So he is saying, now you fucked up. Now you have fucked up.
You have fucked up now.
Yeah, only he
now
did
you
not
fucked up.
Then get beaten in the ass with a hammer. But it's just absolutely infuriating that they're trying to say that Biden, the man who revived Putin's power, the man who ensured Putin's continued economic success, was harder on Russia than the man that almost forced Putin into early retirement and economically ruined Russia. That makes a lot of sense, sure. That shit just pisses me off every time I see something like that, where I'm going, you don't even understand how things are set up, let alone what the outcome of that setup is. What the fuck is wrong with it?
Sanguine, do you remember was Robert Gates the Secretary of Defense under Obama before Panetta?
Let me quickly double check. I think he was.
I want to say he was, but I could be wrong. He could have been Secretary of something else.
Let me double check.
But he said of Biden, he's like, the dude's been wrong on every foreign policy decision for the past 4 decades.
Yep, and he has. So he was, and let's see, Secretary of Defense.
Yeah.
Under Bush and then Obama and then left.
See, I managed to pull that one just out of a cloud of smoke, literally.
And he was succeeded at. Blah, blah, blah. He was succeeded by Panetta.
Yeah, because he went from CIA to defense.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if I can get this to work now.
Now you fucked up. Now you fucked up.
Nice. Got a clip of Terry saying that?
Yeah.
Yeah, from a long time ago. Like I've got.
Long time ago.
Speaking of like you remember those was it the Long Man commercials?
Yeah.
I had one of those for Terry too. You know, a long man. Maybe one of these days I will remember to try and get SoundPad reconfigured before I go to shut down my computer or something. It always asks for me to restart it. It's like, yeah, I'm not doing that right now. I'm about to stream or about to play a video game. No.
And Terry's wanting you to work the shaft, apparently, because he says, that's an awesome voice. Who was that talented performer?
Yes, to quote another person, you know, he has the voice of an angel.
God damn it, that's another... we keep on tripping over lines that just stick in my head as something else. Because have you ever seen the Attack on Titan abridged?
No. I've not watched a lot of the animus, so.
So, the abridged series, you can find it on YouTube. They're always just over the top. They keep kind of the core of the story alive, but just all the lines are what the fuck. And there's one part of Attack on Titan, which is the boot camp portion, and the drill sergeant in the abridged is walking down the line, just chewing out everyone, and he gets to, I think it's Armin, and he, what's your name? Ah! Oh my God, Private, you sound like a goddamn angel. Harmonize with me, Private. Harmonize. Ah! 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 And it's just, what the fuck?
Yeah, those things are weird.
That's what makes them glorious. So yeah, the harmonize with me made me think of the harmonize with me, Private.
Well, no, it was the voice like an angel.
Oh yes, voice like an angel made me think.
I know what I said.
Yes. Voice like an angel made me think of the harmonize with me.
Yeah, because I don't see Gutenberg around as much anymore. So I always I always remember him playing up Terry's voice like that.
Mm-hmm.
He was actually on one of the very first mini streams I did. He hopped in when Skep was hosting.
Mm-hmm.
I remember.
And then occasionally I'll see him like in Monkey's chat.
I remember he called me his favorite cat, and I'm like, I've never met you before. Like,
That's why
Maybe
they're
maybe
his
he was just
favorite
saying you
cats.
all look alike. Who knows?
Or maybe he's just hates every cat that he's ever met. So having just barely met
The
you,
bar is really low.
you're automatically his favorite cat that he's ever met.
I mean, Della was also his favorite Canadian,
Yep.
and I'm sure Della will not feel insulted when I say that he's pretty low effort. So
And I'm curious how I'm supposedly going to be triggered.
He will not argue with the amount of effort.
Oh.
How will I be triggered, apparently?
yeah, see, I never actually interacted with Drunk Goot, so like when he came on that one stream, I'm pretty sure he was sober. You know?
I've interacted with Drunk Goot and I've interacted with Sober Goot. In fact, Sober Goot was a guest for the first ever Minions of the Zoo day stream. Goddamn Dr. Money. That is a good choice for how you're going to piss me off. You guys know the Dr. Money paper, right? I've told you guys about this.
I have heard the name, yes.
Yes.
It's... Yeah.
Wait, Johnny, what'd you say?
I just said yes.
Oh, okay.
It's the
It cut out for me.
% suicide rate paper. Fuck John Money. He should never be called Dr. Money, except as a slight against the entire profession. That absolute quack.
I'm
would
sorry.
say that he's done more harm to medicine than even Wakefield did.
Well, can we start before we even get to what he did? Can we just start with, dude? Your name's John Money.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna trust the word comes out of your mouth, no matter what your credentials are. Like, I didn't trust Eddie Money. I'm not trusting. Your last name is Money. I'm gonna give you some side eye.
Yeah. Perhaps the only profession that I would go, okay, maybe I should listen to this person, is if their profession is banker. If you have the surname Money and you're a banker, it kind of fits. Let's hear what you have to say. But John Money is the one that had the 100% suicide rate foundational paper on Gender's Just a Social Construct, where he, when you read the methods of the case study, horrendously sexually abused 2 teen boys, one of which who had been mutilated in a botched circumcision, forcing them to perform sexual acts upon each other as he watched. He then claimed that his experiment that he did with these children proved that gender was a social construct, and it is, like I said, a foundational paper of the entire field. Both of the boys involved in the study committed suicide. Somehow it's still cited widely. And Maniac Man, yeah, it's an abominable failure to anyone with any sort of sense, and it's something that should have had him arrested, put away for life, and castrated with 2 rocks. But no, he's still employed, still... All right, let me quickly double check. I think he's still alive, either that or he recently passed.
Now, speaking of triggering memories, back in high school, I had a Polish pen pal, and she recommended a book called Steps by Jerzy Kaczynski, or something like that.
He died 16 years ago, apparently.
And it's a collection of short stories, from what I'm understanding. Either they were like found in a journal or something like that. There's some kind of story with it. It's been forever since I've read. It's one of the first books I actually ever purchased on my own. And one of the stories in there, there were a couple of soldiers who were, I think they were investigating something, and somehow they ended up tied to a tree, and they had, they were tied to the tree, had their pants ripped down, and they had their dick and balls smashed between two rocks.
I'm sorry, what did I just tune back in for? What's going on now?
Castrating someone with 2 rocks.
I completely zoned out there for a second. How did we get here?
I don't know why, but it happened in the book.
So, when you said that you had a pen pal, this was you wouldn't know her, she goes to another school in another country. That's what you're saying, right?
Yes.
Figure.
Yeah, we were pen pals through our schools.
Okay. And, yeah, the only other person that is on the scale of John Money level of what the fuck is wrong with this person and how were they not executed for what they did is the Berlin pedophile experiment head. Did you guys ever hear about that experiment?
No.
Not.
A sociologist came up with an experiment that he was then able to get okayed by the government of Berlin. I can't remember whether it was East or West Berlin at this time, but it was during the
Fingers crossed it was East Berlin.
Cold War. And he came up with this hypothesis of a way of deterring the rise of Nazis and fascists.
Wait. Is this the Louis C.K. bit? This is the Louis C.K. bit, isn't it, Johnny?
What's the Louis C.K.?
About how if he had a time machine, he would go back and rape Hitler?
Oh, no, this is not that. This is the guy's experiment was if he takes orphans or children from troubled households, and he defined troubled households as having a father who was dominant and held traditional gender roles, then it would be better for those children, and they would be less likely to become fascists if they were given to pedophiles for the pedophiles to take care of them. So he oversaw, I think it's hundreds of children, either orphans or children that the government allowed him to take from their families to be put in the care of pedophiles within Berlin. And he did this for decades. I'll quickly check the number. But that is the only other person on the scale of the bullshit that John Money did. And it was Helmut Kentler is the German pedophile experiment guy, and he died in 2008, so 2008. It was the Kentler experiment, or the Kentler project, and he advocated for placing children into the households of pedophiles. And of course, there was a lot of suspected incidents with him and children as well, Because why else would someone go, you know who we should give to pedophiles? Young children.
Okay, so John Money and Helmet, what's his nuts?
Kenton.
Let's change the topics because I'm getting severely depressed here.
I was gonna say we're reaching the 2-hour mark, so.
Let's circle back to Ukraine. I got a tweet here that says, "When did we start pronouncing it Kyiv rather than Kiev?" I watched the World at War documentary when I was like 15, and they pronounced it Kiev, and I refused to change. And you know what? I don't know shit about Ukraine. Literally, the only way I knew how to pronounce the city name as Kiev was that Nicolas Cage movie, Lord of War.
Mm-hmm.
He and what's his face? Tattoo face Joker. Yeah, Jared Leto.
Yeah, Leto.
Yeah, they're supposed to be like Ukrainian immigrants.
Mm-hmm.
And Jared Leto's got a bag of cocaine cut up like the border of Ukraine.
Nice.
I know it from the chicken food. Chicken
Kiev. Yep. And I know it from Saint Vladimir of Kiev.
I was unaware that anybody was pronouncing it Kyiv.
Yeah, it's one of the alternative pronunciations. But as Kiev said, it's supposed to be split. It isn't just supposed to be Kyiv. It's like cave rather than Kyiv or
I'm gonna use the monkey defense here and say like that's not how it's spelled.
Mm-hmm.
Keev is how that dude had it pronounced it. It's like, yeah, that's.
And they should just be happy people aren't pronouncing it Kyiv. Because when I and E go walking, the second does the talking.
Well, I just remember, that scene in that movie. Like I said, Jared Leto's got cocaine cut up to look like the border of Ukraine. I was like, if they're willing to put that much effort into cocaine geography, I should probably pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
But
so, were you wanting to wrap it up, Johnny?
Yeah. Things that were bringing the chat down a bit. But we'll go with parting thoughts. You Sanguine?
Well, I mean, Kyiv wants us to go for 3 hours. I don't have that much to talk about today. I'm sorry.
No. And if we're starting off with me, I'll end off with my standard. If you're passionate about something, make sure that you devour it. Don't let it devour you.
All right. And Camel? I gave you time this time, so you should have had time to come up with something.
I remember some, Stephen King quote vaguely, but not enough to quote it verbatim. Talking about the story of Job. Sanguine, you want to tell everyone the story of Job, real quick, like condensed version?
The condensed version of Job. Okay, so the story of Job is Job was. Let me quickly make sure that I'm thinking the right one in my head because there's two that I always confuse. Job, if I remember correctly, was the one that was the bet between God and the devil, right?
Yeah, that was the farmer.
Yep. So Job was a faithful servant of God. He was very devout. He had a loving family, a lot of property, a lot of estate, was doing extremely well. And effectively, the devil went to God and said, the only reason why Job loves you is because you've given him so much. If you didn't give him this much, then he would clearly hate you. And God effectively went, and allowed the devil to then fuck with Job. So the devil destroyed the land Job had been given, killed his wives and children, had some of them sold into slavery and then died, had some of them just be murdered in front of Job, die of disease, all kinds of horrendous shit. His land just completely dried up and was useless. His animals got sick and died, or were stolen or butchered, leaving him absolutely destitute. He was still devout follower and still prayed to God and still refused to blame God. So he then was cursed with boils and pustules and pains, disease ridden, and he still wouldn't curse God. So his friends started to turn upon him, because clearly if he was really a righteous man, if he was really a good man, then he would be rewarded. The fact that all of what he had, all of the rewards that he had been given, were now taken away must mean that he is secretly not true in his worship, and he still held true to God. And it was, everything just kept getting worse and worse and worse, until eventually, in frustration, he demands to know, why has God forsaken him?
And this is the part that I remember from the Stephen King quote. He says, and in a booming, thunderous voice, God said, "There's something about you that just pisses me off."
Yep.
Good night, everybody.
We're just skipping over Johnny then? Have a good night, all.
Yeah. No, I see how it is. Someone wants to take over the show.
Well, I was just saying good night.
Sure.
You press the button, man. Calm down.
I didn't press any buttons, but let's see. I'll go with just in saying that if you are interested in a short documentary about the amazing Jonathan, who we talked about a third of the way in, I have a pinned comment with Steve Burns' a documentary in there. It's pretty good. Let's see here, and yeah, I really have nothing else other than that. Just showing Steve Burns shit, but yeah, other than that, I got nothing else. So thanks for showing up, everyone, and the zoo is closed.
Have a good night, all.
Yeah, now you can say goodnight to everyone, Camel.
Oh, night, everybody.
All right.